Hey everybody, Phil with American Liberty Fighters. Wanted to put out a video, talk about a couple things here. I've been reading some stuff on the VA Reform Act and different things for VA. I know that we have the 22 push-ups for 22 days challenge that some people have put out. I've watched a couple of them on YouTube. One channel, I was kind of disappointed. He was doing his, and he had gotten through 12 days, and then after 12 days there was nothing more. He had incorporated a bunch of different things, a bunch of different military exercises, or exercises that the military does that I remember from the military. And then another channel that put out one video with 22 supposed freedoms that he thought we had, but I mean, they were basically constitutional freedoms that we have, that he kind of split up into different groups that were actually combined together, and then some things that he thought were freedoms that really, if you know the difference between freedom, right, and privilege, they're really a privilege. I mean, case in point, sure, you can go hunting, but you have to have a license to hunt. You have to have permits for going hunting, and then of course fishing, you have to have a license to fish and a permit for certain kinds of fish. And then there was one for you have the freedom to travel abroad, which really isn't a freedom, it's a privilege, because you have to have a passport. You go to a foreign country without a passport, guess what? You kind of get in trouble. You're in their country illegally, you get shot, killed, put in jail, whatever, unless you're coming to the United States, which at that point I guess the illegal immigration is cool and you get away with it. We actually give you things for coming to our country illegally. Way to go. But I'm reading up on this, and we had recently, I think in the last few months, or a couple months ago, we had Congress, the House of Representatives, put through five different legislative bills after being amended. Of course, they can't pass a clean bill. They have to amend them and add stuff. But there were 5 things for veterans that they passed through and sent to the Senate. And I've checked, and the Senate hadn't done anything. So there's been nothing done on that, which means it can't go to the president. So, of course, the president can't do anything with that. But then again, why would he? And then there's this thing here where I'm reading, and I've got something else over here where I've got it pulled up, and this is I'll put the link in to the description box here. You can go read it yourself. I'm just going to kind of highlight what it's talking about. It's on military.com, and I actually found it on veterans.house.gov. Union bosses, VA bosses rigging system for failure, which, I mean, if you didn't already know that, you kind of should. The VA, the people that work at the VA are all unionized. So, of course, if you do something wrong and you're in a union, the union's going to fight to keep you there. Even if you do things so egregious as, say, I don't know, go and one of the things was one individual working for the VA was caught they were caught stealing. And the VA, they're still working there. The VA said, well, we can't fire her. That's on her own free time. We can't do anything about that. And another one, you've got a couple of regional office directors that were caught inappropriately using their authority, and they were embezzling money. I would call it embezzling, for over $400,000 in tax money that they took, and they weren't fired; they were kept on. So I guess, if you break the law and you work for the VA because you're part of a union, you don't get fired; you get to stay. It's kind of like working for the federal government at any level. If you do something wrong, you get promoted. And we have the top one being Hillary Clinton. All the scandals she's involved in, all the things that are going on with her, and guess what? She's running for president. And there are those dimwits out there that are actually thinking of voting for her. How in the world do you have that? Anyhow, I just think it's very, very interesting that we have this 22 for 22 challenge that I'm watching people that can't seem to follow through on their challenge. One of them challenged people. He went 12 days, quit. Another one, he took the challenge. He only did 1 day, and he didn't really understand what it was. So, you know, what are we really doing? As a veteran myself, it's kind of disheartening to see this stuff. It was great when I first saw it happening, but now I'm kind of disheartened because nobody's really following through on anything they really said. We don't have a Congress who's doing anything to fix it. They're kind of all sitting around with their thumb up their butt, not doing anything. That's kind of where I'm at with all this. So, I don't know. I had to go ahead and I had to rant and do something. I had to say something. So I guess you could call this my Tuesday rant. And oh, by the way, before we get some boo birds out here saying, well, I don't see you doing your own video of 22 for 22 challenge. I will be doing my own. I'm limited in what I can do, but I'm going to probably be doing my 22 push-ups and a couple other things that, but I'm trying to figure that part out. So, but that'll be coming like maybe tomorrow or the next day. I'll be putting out those videos. So, before you tell me that I don't do my own, there you go. I've said it, and I'm going to do it. And I'll do mine for 22 days. And then, of course, all of you that are out there doing the 22 for 22 challenge, when you hit that 23rd day, what are you going to do? Are you going to forget about what you went to do that for? Or are you going to continue to try to speak and tell people about it? So that's my challenge for you people out there is, if you're going to do this 22 for 22 challenge, which I'm going to challenge you to do, but I'll do this challenge again when I do my push-ups. But to continue making sure that they don't forget about the veterans, that we're not forgotten, and that those that are in worse shape or in more need than say myself or any other veterans that are out there. If you know of a fellow veteran and they're suffering from PTSD, or they've talked about things, suicidal tendencies, make sure you call them. Check up on your buddy. Don't just let them sit there and think they're going to be okay because, well, they won't kill themselves, because that's just not so. So make sure you keep up with your buddies. Your fellow veterans, and any veterans out there, you're more than welcome to contact me, and if you have to talk, I'm more than willing to listen. So anyhow, thanks again for listening, and until the next video, have a great day.